Craig in Hounslow. Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for taking my call. I'll try to be quick. So I bought 3 tickets for tandem paragliding. There's a gift for my mother and my sister and myself in the summer of 2022, so about August. And ever since then, we've been trying to rebook it because at that time, the conditions weren't right for the paragliding.
Did they cancel or did you?
So they cancelled because the wind needs to be right. It can't be raining.
Okay.
I
understand. So they cancelled this, and doubtless they were entitled to do so and right to do so. You say you've been trying to rebook. What problem are you experiencing?
So every time we rebook now, the conditions aren't correct. And so we've been doing that every week that we're available since then, probably about 30 or 40 times.
Wow.
I've asked for a refund, and they said on their website that they don't do refunds because there is some work involved in checking the conditions. This is a paragliding school, I won't mention where, but they are obviously out every weekend. They know what the conditions are going to be like. So I don't want to have bad blood with them because I'd like to actually do the paragliding, but it's got to the point where,
30 or 40 times. Do you know if they're actually allowing other people to go paragliding? Do you think they're just fobbing you off?
I don't know if they're fobbing me off or not, but I do know that if you're doing tandem paragliding, the conditions need to be more perfect than if you're just going out with one person because the weight is more.
Yeah.
So the question is really, can I demand that we get a refund? It's about £400 for the 3 of us, and can I, or should I take them to a small claims court?
Well, this is tricky because this is actually about whether they're right about the conditions not being correct or not. If they are right that the conditions are not appropriate, I think there's very little you can do. It's just a question of keeping trying. If they're fobbing you off, then you're entitled to a refund. I'll tell you what I would do, Craig, because trying to rebook this 30 or 40 times and being pushed back 30 or 40 times is ridiculous. I would simply now write to them and say that you're going to bring a claim unless they give you a refund on the basis that you've made reasonable attempts to rebook. You've made plenty of attempts to rebook, and they are preventing you doing it even when the conditions are appropriate, and say they're being excessively cautious and they're in breach of contract. That's the phrase to use. Now, the chances are, Craig, if they're honest, they'll know it's ridiculous as well, and they'll do the decent thing and just think, we can't be bothered to defend this, we'll give Craig a refund. How much money are we talking about, by the way?
£400.
Okay, so enough to bring a small claim over.
Yep.
Ultimately, a judge is not going to be impressed with them saying, well, we took Craig's money, but we've refused to honour our side of the contract because the weather's not been good 40 times. A judge isn't going to like that. The judge will be on your side and will want to find in your favour. So I think it's certainly worth a punt. But fundamentally, all they have to do is stick to the contract. And if the contract says weather conditions have to be at a certain level and they haven't been, they're not in breach of contract.